Dragon Age Origins Awakening was rated M for mature by the ESRB and contains blood, intense violence, language, partial nudity, and sexual content. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello everyone, my name is Amaronith and I play games for the internet, and today we're playing Dragon Age Origins Awakening. We did quite a bit, and I think it's time for another, Codex reading, starting with Article 11 from Under Creatures. The Children. The children appear to be twisted mutations of Darkspawn. They have set even Herlocks, Genlocks, and Ogres to fleeing. The monsters appear first as Childergrubs, gruesome larval creatures that wriggle on the ground. This is the only vulnerable stage of their development. To squish them is to do the world a favor. When the grubs devour the flesh of slain Darkspawn, a dramatic change occurs. To a sound of tearing flesh, legs emerge. The childer can now run down its prey with startling speed. Creatures, Article 15, the Disciples. The Disciples are Darkspawn that have become sapient after some sort of process of awakening, after which they choose their own names. They are cunning, powerful, and hold influence over non-awakened Darkspawn. The Disciples are split into two factions. Some serve the Architect, some serve the Mother. Creatures, Article 17, Inferno Golem. It is so much better when it's on fire. Centuries ago, during the Dwarven Empire's Golden Age, dwarves commanded vast armies of golems. Golems guarded the Taigs and patrolled every branch of the deep roads as Golems guarded the Taigs and patrolled every branch of the deep roads. As men of steel and stone, they were eternal, indestructible, and perfectly obedient. But Paragon Hirol was not satisfied. He wanted Kal Hirol's golems to be greater. In his forge he gave them hearts like furnaces that would burn evermore. Thus became the Inferno Golems, with eyes that burned and veins coursing with molten lava. Culture and History, Articles 168. The Fortress of Kal Hirol. The Fortress of Kal Hirol was established by Paragon Hirol and became known as a center of learning for smiths. Its workshops are where Paragon Hirol conceived his famous improvements to golem resilience and power, and where Hirol's favorite student developed a method for storing refined lyrium that is still used today. These breakthroughs brought Kal Hirol great prosperity, its passageways glittering with gold and silver. For decades, the Taig was the favored home of apprentice smiths. Unfortunately, as time wore on, only the richest could afford to train there. When the Darkspawn came, Kal Hirol was among the first of the great Taigs to fall. Our people still mourn the loss. From the writings of Shaper Ezrain. Article 169, the Paragon Hirol. Paragon Hirol was a born warrior. He excelled at arms and strategy, but was not content. Hirol believed he was born outside the caste system, able to be anything he chose. A warrior, a smith, even a noble. He would not rest until he'd mastered the art of war, the art of smithing, and the art of rule. He was eccentric, maybe even mad. Some said he'd taken too many blows to the head in the provings. Yet Hirol accomplished what he set out to do. He trained under the greatest smiths and the greatest warriors, and his achievements in both fields were so great that the assembly could not help but make him a paragon. Thus the noble house Hirol was born. From the writings of Shaper Ezrain. Article 173, the Great Strife. Worn inscriptions deep in the bowels of Vigil's keep tell of the Avar clan that settled here. With our warriors unmatched in skill and strength, and here we settled in the caves carved by the hand of Korth the Mountain Father. Ruadan, shaman of the people, turned from the gods who had ever sheltered him. In his grief he destroyed the gifts of the Mountain Father and brought us low. And Ruadan pursued her. She fled into the earth and prayed to Korth to preserve her. He sent deliverance. They called themselves the Dwarves, and they protected Kayla. Remember, Kival, may Ruodon forever be bound here. Article 176, the Vigil. Vigil's Keep is one of the oldest settlements in Ferelden, older than Denerim and Gwaran. The barbarians who battled the Tevinter Imperium chose this location for a fortress so that their warning fires would be visible at a great distance when the Tevinter ships neared the coast. The Vigil had seen battle in every major invasion of Ferelden. Tevinters, rival barbarian clans, and Orlesians have all held her battlements. The Vigil was the first fortress to fall to the Orlesians and the last to be freed. The cellar beneath Vigil's Keep retains traces of the Avar barbarians. To the Avar, the Vigil was both a fortress and a holy site. The cellars bear monuments to their gods, heroes, and their rare military victories. The Vigil cellars connect to the deep roads far below. Evidence suggests the Avars and dwarves traded in secret, a breach of promises made to the Tevinter Imperium in the days before the Darkspawn. Article 205. Characters. Article 205. Sigrun. A wise man once told me never to argue with someone better armed than the entire warrior caste on parade. Sigrun is a member of the Legion of the Dead, warriors exiled from Orzammar and sent on suicide missions against the Darkspawn. When the Warden Commander found Sigrun fleeing a Darkspawn next in Kal Hirol, the last survivor of her group, she has broken the Legion's oath by not fighting to her death. Sigrun joined Faria to destroy the Darkspawn nest. After Kal Hirol was purged of Darkspawn, Sigrun agreed to join the Grey Wardens. She survived the joining. Sigrun is fascinated by the surface world. She collects little curios from all over Thedas. Article 211, Velanna. I know a human crime when I see it. I have experienced more than enough of them. Velanna wreaked havoc on the Wending Wood, murdering humans who crossed her path to terrorize the nearby villages into releasing her sister. However, Faria discovered that Darkspawn were to blame for Velanna's sister's disappearance. Hoping to rescue her sister, Velanna offered to help the Warden Commander destroy the Darkspawn. Velanna was upset to discover that her sister, Sarani, was working willingly with the Architect. She pledged herself to the Grey Wardens and survived the joining. An encounter with Velanna's former clanmate Marin revealed that the clan had cast Velanna out and denounced her anti-human crusade. Velanna is fond of the color green, as well as items that remind her of elven culture and nature. Books and Songs. Article 247, the Canticle of Maferath. These verses were carved into statues in the Wending Wood. They appear to be the Canticle of Maferath, which the chantry includes among the dissonant verses, unacknowledged in the Chant of Light. Spite ate away at all that was good, kind, and loving, till nothing was left but the spite itself, coiled round my heart like a great worm. And in my darkest hour I turned from her and vowed that I would destroy her. At the moment of her death I knew what I had done, and I wept. I shall bring the lands of my fathers to her word. Therein lies their salvation and mine. And she came to me in a vision and laid her hand on my heart. Her touch was like fire that did not burn, and by her touch I was made pure again. Despair not, said she, for your betrayal was Maker blessed, and returned me to his side. I am forgiven. Article 255, Ancient Vows. There is an inscription in the stone. And so you are defeated by Avar and Dwarf, bound by the blood of your people. May they hold you here forever. And that's all for now. Hopefully there won't be quite so long a time period between this one and the next one. And until then, take care. Bye-bye.